Hi folks! In today's video we will answer one of the most repeated questions we receive every month. How much does it cost to print a fantasy miniature? For the purpose of this video we will be printing the July 2023 release from Highlands Miniatures, a massive set of Sunland minis, the perfect way to kickstart your fantasy journey. Let's get into it. To print these miniatures we will use our favorite resin, the one we normally use for all our miniatures, the Siraya Tech ABS like navy grey. The great team from Siraya has sent us 3 bottles of their resin to help us make the video, so thank you so much guys, you're the best! We love this resin for the incredible clean look of the miniatures after being printed. You can see all the details without the need to prime the miniatures. And it is super reliable to use. You can see many examples of this resin being used for printing fantasy miniatures in our Instagram profile and Facebook page. Before we start printing, there's a couple of things you need to make sure you have for your own safety. First of all, wear gloves. We get them from Amazon and they were really good. You should try to avoid contact within your skin and the resin. It is also very important to place your printer in a well-ventilated area and wear a mask while you're using the printer to avoid issues with the resin fumes. Alright guys, we have just downloaded the pre-supported STL files from Highlands Miniatures Patreon and we have filled the first plate inside Chitubox with a nice set of Sunland pistoliers and their horses. Inside your slicer you can scale or mirror the files to obtain more variation. When the plate is ready, we may click on slice and wait for the process to finish. It could take a few minutes, so let's speed the process. After the slicing is finished, we save the file and wait again for Chitubox to finish processing. In today's video, we will be using our 4K Lego Saturn. Turn on the printer, place your slice file into a USB and connect it to your machine. Attach the build plate to the main body, squeeze it hard, pour some resin and let the magic begin. The printer has just finished, so it is time to clean the miniatures. We use a combination of alcohol and acetone to clean them. This 2-step wash works like a charm to clean the minis and save money in alcohol. So, the first thing you need to do is separate the printed miniatures from the build plate. We use some modeling pliers to separate the raft of the printed miniatures from the plate by doing some small cuts and by applying a little bit of pressure around the corners of the raft to lift it. After a few touches, the entire plate will come out greatly. We normally remove the miniatures from the supports right at this point, before cleaning them, to reduce the resin waste getting into the acetone. If you have troubles removing the support, you can also use hot water or a heat gun to soften the supports. You can also clean the miniatures with the supports still attached to them. Just sink the miniatures into the acetone for a few seconds and that will be it. After this first wash is done, it is time for the second wash in alcohol. We place all the miniatures inside the wash and cure machine and let them clean in for a couple of minutes. After the second wash is finished, we let the miniatures dry. When the remaining alcohol is gone from the surface of the miniature and it is completely dry, we cure them using the wash and cure machine for a couple of minutes. If you're lucky enough to live in a sunny place, you can just leave them in the window under the sun. Now, let's print, clean, and cure the rest of this set of minis. This is a tip that we always do to completely dry our miniatures. You can use your airbrush to blow some air into the miniatures and make sure that there's no alcohol between the tiny parts or holes of the miniature. This is a makeup brush, specifically a contour one, and we use it because it has the perfect strength to remove the white or the resin excess that may appear in the miniatures. It is such an effective trick. Try it! When the miniatures are completely dry and cured, it is time to finally assemble them. You can follow the proposed assemble in the preview images or follow your own instinct. When you deal with modular miniatures, you may need to pre-assemble them prior to glue the bits together to ensure that they match without troubles, they look good, or they rank fine within the unit. It is also a very nice way to feel the look of the entire miniature if you're going to paint the pieces before glue them. We use small bits of blue tack to pre-assemble the miniatures and it works great. Okay, you may be thinking by now, when are they going to talk about the title of this video? Well, let's talk about the cost. There are two kinds of cost when we talk about in the 3D printing sphere. The upfront cost of purchasing a 3D printer, the cost of the files, resin, and any other consumable for the 3D printing process, and the cost per miniature, or how all these upfront costs get divided per miniature. Wait, what? If you purchase a 3D printer to print one single miniature, the total value of the machine will be reflected on that print, costing you hundreds of dollars or pounds or euros to print only that miniature. So the more you print or the more you use a product, the smaller this reflected value will be on the printed miniature. You can apply the same thought for the rest of the upfront costs. Now let's do some numbers. The most economic way to purchase STL files is through Patreon. This entire set of miniatures is available this July 2023 in Highlands Miniatures Patreon for just $10. The biggest upfront cost in the 3D printing hobby is the 3D printer. You can find right now very good offers for 4K 3D resin printers like the one we use in the video at around $280. We use a wash and cure machine in this video because it makes the process of 3D printing easier and faster, but you can completely avoid this machine if you have more patience and live in a sunny place. Unfortunately, we don't, that's why we use it. We have printed way over 1,000 miniatures with this resin printer and cleaned them with the wash and cure machine, but to make it an easy number, let's say just 1,000. This number drives the cost of these machines to $0.28 and $0.1 per miniature in the order already mentioned. We can't recommend you enough to spend a few more dollars in a good resin rather than in cheap ones, as the quality of the print will be far superior and will avoid you printing issues. 1 liter of our favorite resin, Siraya Tech ABS like navy gray, cost around $38. In this video, we have printed 83 32mm heroic scale human miniatures, and we still have over 100mm of resin left, so we can probably print over 100 miniatures with 1 liter of resin, equal to $0.38 per miniature. 1 liter of acetone cost us around $10, and 3 liters of IPA 99.9% cost us around $30. We replaced the acetone after 400 washes. As you can see in the video, 1 wash equal to 1 miniature, so that leaves us with $0.025 per miniature. As the acetone removes most of the remaining resin in the miniature, we can use the 3 liters of alcohol for a longer period, over 500 miniatures or $0.06 per miniature. Not bad, right? So, the final up front cost of a 3D printing setup if you're entirely new to the hobby can cost you $473, even though you can find cheaper products for all these things, reducing the upfront cost by a lot. But the cost of 3D printing per miniature is way lower. Based on our numbers, the cost of a single miniature is $0.8, from which the 45% of the cost come from the machines and the 55% from the consumables. So, the more you print, the cheaper it could be. Of course, there are other hidden costs like electricity or replacement pieces for the machine that are more difficult to track, as it depends on every single user situation, but it won't drive the average price much higher. Well, too many numbers, right? Let's go back and see how this entire Sunland set of miniatures looks finally assembled. Majestic, am I right? Remember guys that the July 2023 release is already available to download in Highlands Miniatures Patreon. You will have till the last day of July to do it. Hope you have a great summer and see you soon in another printing video.